Hello, fight fans. If you're looking for odds and predictions for Bellator 214, Paul Daley versus Michael Venom Page, you came to the right place. Let's get it on! First fight I'm going to be breaking down is Cheick Kongo versus Vitaly Minakov. Cheick Kongo's on a 7-fight win streak since losing a decision to King Mo Lawal. That was several years ago. Vitaly Minakov hasn't fought in Bellator in several years. He was the heavyweight champion when he fought Cheick Kongo years back here in April 2014. Since then, he has been fighting in Russia. He wasn't stripped of the belt until 2016, so he hasn't fought in the States in 5 years, but he has stayed active. He was dominant in the win against Cheick Kongo. Kongo, as tough as he is, even on a 7-fight win streak, very hard to take him as a 4-1 underdog against Vitaly Minakov, 20-0. Just got too many tools. Went the distance the last time. Vitaly Minakov has close to a 100% finish rate. But Cheick Kongo was as tough as they come. A lot of fighters have ruined their career trying to take Cheick Kongo out. Just ask Pat Barry. I'm going to take Vitaly Minakov over Cheick Kongo by unanimous decision. Let's go to another rematch. This is the heavyweight co-main event, and it's also a rematch. Mirko Cro Cop versus Roy Nelson. I don't know what Mirko's on right now, but let me just tell you, looking at his body, Bellator does not have anything close to the same testing facilities that the UFC does. They don't let USADA go into the same state. This 43-year-old looks like a jacked 22-year-old. And I'm afraid poor Roy Nelson is going to eat those punches, even though he's about a year and a half, almost 2 years younger. I think Mirko Cro Cop, he's on like a 12-fight win streak. I think he smashes him. Cro Cop's a minus 225 favorite in this one. If you want Nelson, put $100 down on Roy Nelson to win 185. But I just don't see him at this age coming up big against Cro Cop. Roy Nelson's one of these guys. He's in his 40s now. He's never taken good care of himself. He got away with that for a long time. I think as he's getting older, though, now you're being able to start seeing the sluggishness, the lack of flexibility, the lack of explosiveness from just a guy that is a professional athlete, but he hasn't taken care of his body for 20-some years. He's always fought right around the 265 limit. That 249 they have on there's not correct. I don't ever remember Roy being that light for a fight. I think often he's actually even had to lose weight. I'm going to take Mirko Cro Cop by first-round knockout, actually. I don't see Roy Nelson changing his tune for this one. I don't see him coming in with a different game plan. I see him coming guns blazing. Maybe he catches Mirko, and that's a spot, but I don't think you teach an old dog new tricks in this one, and I think he walks right in to either one of those big head kicks or a spinning back fist, something crazy from Mirko Cro Cop for a first-round knockout. Let's move to the main event of the evening, though. Paul Daley versus Michael Venom Page. This is the biggest rivalry in Bellator. These guys legitimately cannot stand each other. You ask Paul Daley or Michael Venom Page, about Paul Daley. He says the guy's a worthless piece of garbage. He's like, the guy's a worthless, just absolute piece of you-know-what. And I haven't heard Michael Venom Page go that hard at somebody up to this point. Paul Daley doesn't have nice things to say about Page either. Michael Venom Page didn't know if he was going to go through with this fight. Just recently lost his father about 3 months ago. So the death of his father, that's been absolutely horrible. And he said he's actually found solace in the gym. His dad had trained him as a professional kickboxer growing up. If you don't know the story of Michael Venom Page, his dad was a world championship kickboxer. When Michael Venom Page said he decided he wanted to be an MMA fighter, he said he could no longer take him to the next level. He said, you're going to have to find a great trainer. And then when Michael Venom Page found a trainer that he thought was acceptable, his father had to approve of that. And he went to him and he said, he talked to the trainer and he said, your son is in my hands now. And he has not taken that lightly. He's pushed Michael Venom Page. He's looked fantastic in the cage, all outside of one fight that was a split decision where he had a guy that just made him look bad. I don't see that happen against Semtex. Paul Daley isn't going to start wrestling. I know he's got 58 MMA fights. Literally, he's not going to start wrestling tomorrow, though. And especially after that fight against John Fitch, him complaining about that wrestling. And you look a little bit at his fights in Bellator. His 3 losses have come to really tough guys. Douglas Lima, of course, the champion, Rory McDonald. And then John Fitch had a tremendous knockout over Lorenz Larkin, beat Brennan Ward, beat some tough guys in there since he unceremoniously got kicked out of the UFC for touching a referee. You can see he hasn't fought a lot for as long as he's been in Bellator. But Michael Venom Page, he was a great kickboxer. He's even had a couple professional boxing matches since he signed with Bellator. He's been going back and forth, and this guy is just amazing to watch. That evangelistic Cyborg knockout, absolutely brutal. If you haven't seen it, you got to go back and watch that. Hits him with a flying knee that unfortunately literally cracked Cyborg's skull. Retired Cyborg. His last fight, he was against an overmatched, oversized David Rickles, but David Rickles, a tough guy nonetheless, and MVP did what he was supposed to do. Took him out easily. Semtex is not going to be easy to take out at all, but I think Page can do it. He's definitely got the motivation coming into this. When they asked him, they said, are you taking this fight for your father? Are you taking this because, to avenge your father's death? And he said, this fight is not about avenging my father's death. He said, every moment of this fight is about celebrating my father's life and avenging that death. He says, every moment of training, every moment of preparation, every waking moment. Michael Venom Page wasn't sure he was going to go through with this match, and you can't blame him. Originally, when his father passed away, now he seems more focused than ever, and I think Paul Daley is in a lot of trouble. And Page, he's gotten up in Daley's face at the weigh-ins. You can see the height difference here, and this is 6 inches. I just don't think this is a good matchup for Paul Daley at all, unless he decides to become a wrestler overnight, which I really don't see. I see Michael Venom Page going through to the next round of the Welterweight World Grand Prix finals, and he comes into this a minus 225 favorite. Paul Daley plus 180 underdog. So that's what it is. That's the 3 big fights on here that I wanted to break down. Of course, I'll be doing a live fight companion Saturday for this, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We got 2 Bellators, 1 UFC, an amazing amount of matches, and I just cannot wait until tomorrow to get this thing started. But I had to get this card breaking down and give you my opinions on these. I want to know what you guys think, though. First of all, everybody, please hit that like button. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. We do a lot of these fight companions, basically every UFC, most Bellators, every big boxing match. We have a great community here of knowledgeable MMA fighters. We don't take ourselves too seriously, but we also keep the trolls away, if you know what I mean. So I hope you join me for that. But I want to know what you guys think down below. Do you like my picks here? Do you not like my picks? Do you think that something else is going on here? Let me know down there in the comments below. As always, I love you. I respect you. And I'll see your fine asses later.